Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another great video. Now, it's been a very dark weekend for professional wrestling. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last 48 hours, the professional wrestler El Hito de Pero Agulia, or real name Pero Agulia Jr., passed away in a tragic accident in the middle of a ring during a AAA event where he was wrestling alongside Manic, Extreme Tiger, and Rey Mysterio. This was Rey's first match after being let go from the WWE, and he's now going by his original name of Rey Mysterio Jr. Now, this was an unfortunate accident. And if you haven't seen the video, it's still up on YouTube. If you're any and all interested in what happened, I'd give it a watch. I watched it once myself. I don't want to watch it again. But a lot of people, including a lot of major news outlets, are blaming Rey for this. And they're saying that he kicked him so hard that it gave him whiplash. And it's not Rey's fault. It was an accident. So I'm going to read the official wiki article because I really don't trust any of the other ones who are the other major news outlets are basically calling Rey a murderer, which he is not. So I'm just going to read this. On March 20th, 2015, Agulia wrestled a tag match teaming with Manic against Rey Mysterio and Extreme Tiger at a show in Tijuana, Mexico. During the match, Rey used a head scissors takedown to propel Agulia to the ropes, but Agulia returned to the ring, upon which Mysterio drop-kicked Agulia in the back to set up for Rey's signature 619 maneuver, as Agulia landed throat first on the middle rope. Manic then fell on the middle rope to set up a double 619 spot, whiplashing the rope against Agulia was resting on. At this point, Agulia appeared to be limp. Mysterio performed the 619 but did not hit any opponent. The match continued but was quickly finished by Mysterio and pinning Manic. Conan attempted to revive Agulia at ringside. Officials later brought Agulia outside the ring. When paramedics arrived, Agulia was brought to the local Del Pardido hospital, where he was pronounced dead around 1 a.m. on March 21st. According to initial announcement from the hospital, Agulia died from a cervical spine trauma, reportedly as a result of a dropkick by Mysterio that propelled him forward and caused the ring ropes to snap his neck. The official cause of death was later announced as cardiac arrest, believed to have been caused by the neck injury. At the time of the incident, Agulia was not immediately attended by a physician and was actually taken from the ring on a piece of plywood instead of a stretcher, which led some to criticize the event organizers. The Tijuana Wrestling Commission later explained that the doctor was backstage attending to two other injuries that happened during the show. One of those injuries was a spinal injury, and they did not want to remove that wrestler from the stretcher he was on, which is why they used a plywood to move Agulia from the ring. Doctors worked on resuscitating Agulia for over an hour before declaring him dead. On March 21st, the Attorney General for Baja County announced they would conduct an investigation into his death and the circumstances surrounding it to determine if there was possibly any criminal charges that needed to be filed. Now, a lot of people are saying that when he landed outside the ring, that initially caused the neck injury, and the actions in the ring being head scissors taken and being drop kicked into the ropes, as well as Manic drop kick landing on the ropes, exacerbated the injury, causing his death. Now, a lot of websites, and this is pissing me off, that a lot of websites are actually citing and believing that Rey caused this, that Rey is responsible for killing this guy, which is bullshit, because Rey Mysterio is not a murderer. He is actually regardless of the injuries that he has recruited on himself, he's actually one of the safest guys to work with. He is very well liked by pretty much everyone in the industry. He was friends with Piero Agulia. I'm sorry, I'm getting his name wrong. I'm sorry. The two of them were actually good friends, and I have yet to hear anyone say anything really bad about Rey personally. They just say he is a genuinely nice guy. And what can you say? I mean, but this not only is this bad for the Aguilla family, he's a second-generation wrestler, but also bad for Ray. This must make him feel so fucked up to know that to be in a ring that he might or might not have caused this guy's death, which is not fair. It's not fair to Ray, and it's not fair to the guy who died. I was looking at some of the matches. I'm not like I said in my last video, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie and say I was always a fan of this guy. I don't watch as much AAA as I would normally watch. I'm aware of some people like Cibernetico, like Chessman, like El Zorro, like Pimpinella, like Gabi Apache, like my boy Messias. I am very well aware of them. I've never heard of this guy really, but looking at his work, it's really a shame that his work is only coming to me simply because he died, and that's fucked up. But more importantly, it's not Ray's fault. Accidents happen in pro wrestling. This is not the first time a wrestler has died in the ring. It's not. It's rare, but it happens. And from the look of it, it was just a freak accident. And it just goes, and people may shit on the WWE. At least they have some stand. At least they're on this shit when possible. I mean, a few years ago, Jerry Lawler had a heart attack after a match on air, and he was dead for a couple of minutes as they worked on him. And yeah, we almost lost Jerry. And if it wasn't for those backstage doctors, he most certainly would not be here today. So this just goes to show you that there's still some, that while wrestling in south of the border is treated with a little bit more respect than it is here in the States, it still has a lot of problems, and I hope that they fix that this event helps them fix these problems, because this does not need to happen again. And another thing, Ray shouldn't. I talked to my mother. She's an attorney, and I explained the situation to her, and she believes, as I believe, that Ray should not be held liable for this in any way. If anything, the organizers should be held liable because they didn't recognize it soon enough, or didn't have enough doctors on hand to help him out. And putting him on a piece of plywood for a neck injury is one of the worst things you can do for a neck injury. I understand that there was some, as I just read, there was another guy who had a similar injury, but they didn't want to remove him from the stretcher, but they should have had more stretchers. I'm just saying this. I'm not trying to place blame on anyone. I'm just saying this was a freak accident that should never have happened in the first place. And you can't blame Ray. Ray did his job, and he did it well. This just kind of happened. So, those are my thoughts on it. I will try to update you as news comes in. So I'm gonna just try to stay close to your news outlets and the wrestling forums, and it's just a tragedy all around. So those are my thoughts. If you like what you see, link, comment, subscribe below. If you want to talk about this, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you. So until next time, shintigercurl, that dude in straw hat, saying good night, and it's a fucked up accident.